thanks everyone for joining us today. We are going to be talking about integration and if your software is talking to each other and how that works with CompanyCam. I'll introduce myself. My name is Bree. I am a customer success manager here at CompanyCam. I also have Sarah with me. She's one of our CSMs, and Jared Hartman, who is going to be running most of this class and showing us how Zapier works. He is our integrations master. So we'll let him kind of take you through all the setup and information that you need to know. But we'll run through a really quick agenda just so you have an idea of what we're going to talk through today. We're going to first start with what Zapier is, give you an explanation of that, how Zapier and CompanyCam can work together, and how to see if the software that you're using is on Zapier. We'll talk through all of that, and then we'll actually walk through creating a Zap or Zapier connection in real time, and wrap up with triggers that you can set within CompanyCam that work with Zapier, and questions that you have too. So if you have questions as we go through this class, please feel free to pop those into the chat or that Q&A. We will be monitoring those so you can get your questions answered. We might have some that we'll answer live and kick over to Jared, but yeah, please make sure to get those questions in if you have them. I am going to pass off to Jared and let him take over.
Sorry about that. Obviously, I had to unmute myself here, but I am excited to share this and get going with what Zapier is. The rest of the support team knows that anything that I can try to automate for our support team, I love to do that, and I love to help figure out automations and Zaps for customers as they come in. So I'm excited to share this with you. But the first things first here, what exactly is Zapier? Zapier is a no-code automation that creates workflows between CompanyCam and your other software. So, it's kind of an odd name, but they use these things called Zaps, and those are the no-code automation workflows that you can set up. And why is this important? Well, it helps keep data consistent and eliminate human error in recurring tasks. And it can save you a lot of time as you prepare those automations within your business workflows. So obviously nowadays with hiring people can be a struggle, and just saving time is always important, right? Making your business more efficient. So how Zapier and CompanyCam work together. Connecting via Zapier gives you access to thousands of other programs. Now, you may have run into an issue with an integration. You see, like within our integrations and partners page, that we don't necessarily integrate with your CRM that you're using or pieces of software. Well, Zapier has access to thousands of other programs. I think it's up to 5,000 now. So chances are that if you have a major piece of software, that they have a Zapier option, a Zapier app that they have developed that is on the Zapier platform. So there are a lot of options there. And then, if you continue down this path, you can automate all those pieces of software together and create a custom workflow for your business and your business operations. So it gives you the ability to connect with things software that we hear about often. Requests we have are ServiceTitan, QuickBooks, Google Suite. That's really powerful as well. You can connect Google Calendar and Gmail and any things like that you may be already using, and create automations, automatic workflows with that. So the first thing I want to show you is, I'll just hop over to what it would look like if you were to go to Zapier. This would be the first step to see if your software works, is within Zapier. So what you would do is go over here to Explore and Apps that work with Zapier. And then you would just search for the app. Let's go with ServiceTitan with that example there. Click on that, and that will bring up a page like this. Every piece of software on Zapier will have this page that kind of automatically shows you what you can do with this. It's really cool, really powerful way to kind of explore what's going on here. So then for the pairing app, that would be CompanyCam. So just type that in, let it do its little search, click on it, and it will create this custom page right here that shows you how to connect ServiceTitan and CompanyCam. Now, one thing that is kind of nice with ServiceTitan is that it can kind of do both sides of the integration. So you can create two Zaps to create a new project in CompanyCam when there's a new job in ServiceTitan. And then you could create another Zap where if there is a new photo, that would be able to be uploaded into ServiceTitan because of one of their actions is, you can go through this here. So let's go actions. And then job attachment. So you could add that photo as a job attachment. So that's kind of a way that you can look through your piece of software and check and see what kind of triggers and actions are available and what type of automation can you set up. So that is pretty cool. Honestly, what I would recommend though is that you would just sign up for a Zapier account, and you can do that right here. And then, you know, I generally use Google and sign up there, but you can put in a work email, first and last name, and you can get started for free and get up to speed right away. And then you'd be up and running. So with that being said, I guess I'll just move forward here. Let's see it in action. Let's see what we can do with this. And I'm going to show you an example with CompanyCam and Zoho CRM here. That is another one request that we get quite a bit. And it's a standard type of integration, right? A very common one is to have either a lead or a contact or some record within your CRM create a new project within CompanyCam. It's keeping that data consistent throughout, right? And that's an easy one to do, and easy one that's great to get set up first. It's honestly the first thing that you'll want to set up in workflows here, set up as a Zap. So what I'm going to do is, first of all, just show you how I would start here. So when you create your account, you'll have something that looks like this, and you'll have an option to create a Zap. And this will come up. I would say best practices is to give it a name here and say exactly what it's going. If you add more and more Zaps to your account, it's just an organizational thing. So we'll say when new leads create in Zoho CRM. Create a CompanyCam project. And then we'll jump here and search for the apps. And we're starting off with Zoho CRM, right? So select Zoho CRM. And then the trigger event is going to be a new lead. That's a fairly standard workflow. If there's a new lead, you'd want to create a project. You could kind of do whatever here. These trigger events it's something that's nice about Zapier. Say your workflow is maybe a new contact. When a new contact is created, that's when you want to create the CompanyCam project. Or if there's a certain updated point that you want that to work, when it's updated, you can do that too. But we'll keep it simple here to start off. And when there's a new lead, that's going to be our trigger. You'll sign into your account. And with that, you can set it up. Usually these days, it's just a simple sign in where you'll sign in to, in this case, Zoho, or with CompanyCam, it's you'll sign into CompanyCam, it'll pop up, you'll authorize it, give permission, and then that will actually be here for you to use in the future. So that's kind of nice. Usually you just have to do that once and then periodically do that. Now, this next part is test trigger, and it's sometimes really easy to skip over and to do really quickly. Just go test trigger and move forward. But what this will do is pull in a recent record from Zoho CRM. So what I like to do is head over and maybe create an example of a lead that we'll be using here. So you would have this with a customer, but it's sometimes nice to just use test data rather than your customer records. So Bree, we're going to create a lead. You're our lead here. First name, last name. Get all the required fields here, and then we do want address information. We'll just call that, and that should be all that we need. So if I save this, we have a new record here. We've got address information, we've got name right there. So when I go here, I will test this trigger, and it's going to give me options of different leads that have come through. So A, B, and C, those are different examples of it. Lead C is the one that I just created. So there we have all of the information that is sent with that trigger. Now, it's kind of overwhelming as I sit and scroll through that. But one thing to note is that now with this data right here, you can use it to create, to pass on information for other steps within your automation. So in this case, we want the name, the lead name, Bree Campbell, and we want the address. And you'll see how that comes into play later on, but I wanted to highlight it here because as you're trying to figure out, hey, what will work within this Zap, this is what you kind of need to look for, you know. And Zoho CRM is great. It sends on a lot of information that you can work with. So you can kind of use your imagination or use this to solve whatever problems you've got within your company with data transfer and things like that. But really wanted to highlight that. Looks overwhelming, but it's very important. So we'll continue on and move forward with the next step here. And this is going to be CompanyCam. We're going to create a project within CompanyCam. This is the action. So you'll look it up here in general, but since I use CompanyCam so much, it's right here in my current apps. And then the event that I want, a little bit of a lag here, is we're going to add the project. Continue. Of course, when we're live, this takes forever here, but so normally this is really fast, but this will load up and I will log into my account. See if I can reload the page. There we go. So the account that I'll want, you can see it keeps all of them, but I've used this one for 25 zaps. So we'll do that one. So here you see how to set up an action. Now, in order to make this work with the information that was passed on from Zoho, you just click in the field here, and then all of that data populates down here. So we see Bree, and then add a space, Campbell. It will respond. It'll leave that space there so it'll look right. Street address, you can see where this is going. So it's best to remember what these were called. So street is what we want. Luckily that one's right there. Street address 1, and then city is Lincoln, postal code. You can search for it, zip code. So one cool thing about this as well, we added this recently. You can add in the primary contact name, primary contact email, and contact phone number. That is an important new thing that you can add. So that data is consistent from your CRM into CompanyCam. So then if you have a tech in the field, they can see that all within CompanyCam if you want them to, and that information is right there. We'll leave that blank for right now, but definitely something that we could do. We could put Bree's name in here again, and then have that email come in, using the email field right there from Zoho CRM. So again, everything is consistent and passed along. So we'll continue. This is saying, hey, this is what we're gonna do for the testing the action. And so what I like to do is just test and review here. And it said a project was sent to CompanyCam just now. So the test for that, to double check and make sure that's true, is to come over here to CompanyCam, refresh the page, and there it is. So there, the test has happened. The next thing we'll need to do is turn it on. The test has happened and it worked. It's verified. Okay, that action is working and connected. So the next step is to just turn on this Zap. Now, once that's turned on, you'll want to go over to Zoho CRM, and we'll create a new lead and see if this is actually working. So we'll have one for Sarah. Data entry. You don't want to do this more than once. So we'll save it. Now, we'll head over here. If it all worked after I saved that, within a few moments, it should be pushed over here. If this doesn't work, then we'll do some troubleshooting and we can go through that. But sometimes it takes a minute or two. There we go. So you can see right there how that works. And from this point on, it's just your creativity and what problem needs to be solved within your business workflows. And Zapier is pretty cool because, with that, we could start to connect other steps within this. You could add a project in CompanyCam. You could maybe send this over to QuickBooks. Again, I can't know all of the workflows that everybody has, but you can see how you can start to stack these things and really automate a lot of your business workflows. So that is all that I have right now. So are there any questions?
We do not have any questions, so that's great. Must be easy to catch on to. Yeah, any other tips that you have, Jared, for integrating with Zapier?
I would say, I'll share my screen again here. It's easy to get started, and you can have a free account with Zapier. There are certain apps that Zapier provides you that I use a lot, actually, just to kind of solve problems and dial in what you're accomplishing. So you'll see them over here, actually. So say you've got a new lead. Every app kind of differs in what they offer and the information that they give. So sometimes you need to go filter that out yourself, right? So maybe every new record comes through. I'm just kind of creating an example here. So maybe leads, contacts, everything comes through, but then there's data that says this is what status is it? Lead, contact, you know, contract signed or something like that, right? Well, you could go in here and in between this step, filter only those that are at a certain status. So you can see, you know, filtering in general, it allows you to dial in, like, this is exactly when I want it to happen. Because maybe you don't want every lead coming through. You just want those that have set up an appointment or something like that. Does that make sense? So that's one thing that I would say you'll want to start using pretty quickly, because it will help you use less tasks with that. That'll be something that you're managing with Zapier, is everything that you do, you know, is a task. So new project created, every action ends up being a task. So a new project created is a task. Adding a photo or an attachment to a CRM would be a task. So sometimes that can become pretty task intensive a lot of times. So what people will do a lot of times is create a new link to the CompanyCam project. So then you don't have to use all the tasks, just getting your photos over into that CRM. You have context in your record, and then you can link over to CompanyCam and have that just all of that content, all of those things right there within CompanyCam. And you can use our interface rather than some of the CRM's interface, because, you know, a lot of times that's a little, it's not so desired within CRM sometimes, right? And so that's what we help solve. And so another app here that I use quite a bit is the formatter step. So you can change how data is formatted. And again, this is just something that you get with Zapier. It's an app that Zapier built themselves. So if I select that, then you can kind of see, you can work with text, numbers, utilities. You can see some examples here, just standard formatting things that it's, again, time intensive and kind of a pain. But if you can get it formatted correctly and then send that out to the other places that you want, to other software that you want, then again, it saves a lot of time and there's consistent data. I think that's all I have right now as far as, you know, getting started with Zapier and moving forward. I would say it is important, I'll reiterate, to have good data that you want to have it run through this Zap, because if you go here and test data that's not, if you don't have an address or something like that, you know, you got to think through the workflow, create a test lead in this case, or test data, so that can pass all the way through, and then you can maybe tweak something at the top and then just retest all the way through to make sure that it's working properly and working as you expect it and want it to. That'll help with the success, and there won't be as many errors and things like, oh, this isn't quite working like I thought it would. Well, you want to create the exact scenario that you're trying to solve and then move forward with that. But, you know, something that I like about Zapier is that the user interface is pretty straightforward here. You know, I'm not a developer. I just took an interest to it, and I like to solve problems. And I think that, you know, a lot of the business owners and people in the construction and in the trades, like they're problem solvers. So like this platform does make a lot of sense for everyone here, I think, to think through a problem logically and let, a pretty straightforward user interface walk you through that problem, and then just test and see how it works. And that's what I love it. That's what I like about, thinking through these things. It's pretty immediate. If it works, and you've got your problem solved, and you're off to saving your time and creating consistent data.
Awesome. Awesome. Jared, thank you for being here today, walking us through Zapier. Hopefully that was really helpful. There's clearly so much you can do. So get into Zapier, go search for your CRM, see if it's available, and start playing around with some of those apps and actions and see how you can make that a lot easier for your crew and for you to get all that information into CompanyCam.
You know what? I forgot one thing that I wanted to actually hit on, because we didn't go through this. That summary prompted me. I'm sorry about that.
Go for it.
But I did want to just show all of the triggers that we have. So if I go back and create a new Zap and start this time with CompanyCam. So these are the triggers that we have right here. And this is kind of how it works with all of them. All the triggers that are available are right there in this list. But the biggest one that we see used a lot is when a new project is created, then that will send on information or trigger a workflow. But we have a new document, new photo, project labeled, which is really useful, and photo tagged. So that can be one photo, and it won't use a lot of tasks like I was talking about before. If a new photo comes in, if you have 100 photos in a project, that can use up 100 of your tasks. But say there's a before and after photo that you want to use that tag to just send the before and after to the customer or something like that, then that would be available there too. But yeah, those are our triggers. And I showed you the actions before with when we were building the previous app. But yeah, there, just wanted to make sure people saw that and saw how to find those.
Awesome. Great, great last minute information there. Well, again, thank you everybody for joining us today. This is being recorded. So if you want other people on your team to see this, you'll have an option to get the recording. You can also go to companycam.com/classes to rewatch this class or any of our other classes. If you have questions on getting connected with Zapier or really anything else with CompanyCam, please reach out to your customer success manager. If you're not sure who that is, check out success@companycam.com. That's the email address you want to send us a message to. We'll make sure we get you connected with the right person. And then if you want to sign up for any other classes, again, companycam.com/classes will have anything upcoming and our previous classes that you can view again to record. So thanks again, everybody, for your time. Have a great rest of your day.